was one of those nights we didn't plan. You grabbed my keys and took my hand, said let's find somewhere the world forgets. And we left the town in silhouettes, a blanket in the trunk, your favorite song, that old beat up radio still hanging on. We chased the stars down empty streets, like we were kids we'd never meet. And the moon, yeah, the moon cheered like it knew what we needed to hear. Every shadow turned to light when you laughed at nothing that night. We danced like fools by the water's side. No plans, no rules, just hearts untried. I swear it was perfectly clear the time the moon cheered. I told you things I swore I'd keep, buried down secrets too deep. You listened like you already knew, and every word felt less untrue. We made up constellations of our own, a language for the night alone. Your hair a halo in the tide, a reckless peace we couldn't hide. And the moon, yeah, the moon cheered like it knew what we needed to hear. Every shadow turned to light when you laughed at nothing that night. We danced like fools by the water's side. No plans, no rules, just hearts untried. I swear it was perfectly clear the time the moon cheered. Maybe it was just the heat or borrowed time we couldn't keep, but somewhere in that midnight blue, the sky felt like it belonged to you. And if the world forgot, I'd still recall how that night made us feel so small and infinite all at once, like summer gave us both a chance. And the moon, yeah, the moon cheered like it knew what we needed to hear. Every shadow turned to light when you laughed at nothing that night. We danced like fools by the water's side. No plans, no rules, just hearts untried. I swear it was perfectly clear the time the moon cheered. Now every time the sky turns white and I see that glow I can't outride, I remember how the night appeared and that time the moon cheered. The waves were crashing soft and slow, as if they knew what we both didn't show. You grabbed my hand, no second thought, a moment made from the things we forgot. Salt in the air, hearts running fast, trying to make a summer night last. You laughed, said this will probably fade, but right then forever felt okay. We wrote our names in sand, letters shaky by your hand, a promise whispered to the tide, knowing morning might let it slide. But for tonight, it was all too real. Every word, every touch, every reckless feel. Yeah, we wrote our names in sand, like fools believing it would stand. Bonfire glow in your storm blue eyes. I swear the stars leaned in from the skies. You told me stories you'd never told, and I gave you secrets I'd never sold. Tangled in blankets, chasing the dawn, singing out loud to the saddest songs. We knew the tide would come too soon, but hearts like ours don't think of noon. We wrote our names in sand, letters shaky by your hand, a promise whispered to the tide, knowing morning morning might let it slide, but for tonight it was all too real. Every word, every touch, every reckless feel. Yeah, we wrote our names in sand, like fools believing it would stand. Maybe we were meant to fade, like think of memories we made. But every time I smell that sea, it brings your ghost back to me. And I know we were a spark, not a flame, but I'll trace that shore and find our names. We wrote our names in sand. Let it shake you by your hand. I promise, whisper to the tide. Knowing morning might let it slide, but for tonight it was all too real. Every word, every touch, every reckless feel. Yeah, we wrote our names in sand, like fools believing it would stand. And if the ocean took it away, I'm still standing in that bay. 'Cause somewhere beneath those waves and land, we left our names, we made our stand. Yeah, we wrote our names in sand, and part of me still can.
We stood by the train tracks, 1203, street light flickered.
And you next to me,
You looked away like I was wrong, but held on a second too long.
had 1,000 things to say,
But silence always.
always gets in the way.
You smiled like you knew the end.
But called me home like we'd pretend.
I tried to speak, I really did, but some words are scared to live. So I let the moment slip, unfair.
I left my voice in the night air, whispers tangled in your hair, things I never said out loud, now float above this quiet town. You were standing just so close, but I talked more to the coast. If you heard it, you didn't care. I left my voice in the night air. I left my voice in the night air.
You traced circles on your jeans,
Like we were stuck between two scenes.
a movie paused before the kiss, a version of us that won't exist.
You said I'm tired, like it was fate.
Like timing always shows up late.
I wanted to say, don't go yet, but bit my tongue and took the bet.
The wind picked up and stole the line, held inside me all this time. So I watched you vanish, just stood there.
And left my voice in the night air. I left my voice in the night air, like a song that no one hears. It trembled in the August breeze, between regret and memories. You didn't ask, I didn't fight. We disappeared into the night. I told the stars, but not your stare.
I left my voice in the night air.
Maybe I was too afraid to break the stillness we had made. Or maybe you already gone,
And I was just holding on too long,
I scream in dreams, but never then.
when you could have heard it back again.
Now I write it all, but you're not there. Still chasing my voice in the night air. I left my voice in the night air, in the space between almost and care. In the seconds you turned away, while I begged the words to stay. It's not that I didn't feel enough, just couldn't speak when it got tough. Now my heart lives in the quiet stare, where I left my voice in the night air. So if you're walking past that place and feel a hush brush past your face, it might be me still standing there, still hoping you'll hear me in the night air.
We chased the light like we were made of fire, running down a beach that never tired. Footprints tangled hearts out loud, too young to break, too bold to bow. You said this one's ours, don't forget. Like a secret deal we never met. And the sky turned gold, turned blush, turned blue, but somehow it all just looked like you. The last sunset was yours, every color, every shore, painted stories in the sky that we swore would never die. The waves pulled promises away, but that last light chose to stay. Yeah, the last sunset was yours, and I see it every time I close the door. I cut your shadow in the water's glow. You caught my light, said you already know. Some hearts are built to run, not keep, but even runners crash too deep. We left no photos, left no trace, just echoes floating in that place. And when the dark began to rise, I swear the sunset wore your eyes. The last sunset was yours, every color, every shore, painted stories in the sky that we swore would never die. The waves pulled promises away, but that last light chose to stay. Yeah, the last sunset was yours, and I see it every time I close the door. Maybe that's the way it goes. The night takes what the evening shows, but somewhere in the color fade is every word we never said but made. And if I chase another light, it's 'cause yours burned too bright. The last sunset was yours, every color, every shore, painted stories in the sky that we swore would never die. The waves pulled promises away, but that last light chose to stay. Yeah, the last sunset was yours, and it's a ghost I'll always adore. So here's to the dust that knew our names, to the sky that never quite fades the same. Even if the day's long gone, that sunset lingers on and on. Yeah, the last sunset was yours, and I'm still chasing what it was for.
We ran through streets the storm had drowned, barefoot hearts in a thunder town. You smiled like you could stop the rain, but I knew we were chasing pain. Your jacket draped across my back, your voice cut through the lightning cracks. We didn't plan to fall that fast, but love like that was built to crash. The world went still just for a breath, right before we dared. What's next? No one spoke, no words we missed. Then the sky clapped when we kissed. The sky clapped when we kissed, like even heaven couldn't resist. Every star held its breath that night as thunder rolled through neon light. Your lips wrote stories on my skin of everywhere we hadn't been. We broke the silence with our fists, and the sky clapped when we kissed. Your hands were shaking, but you held tight, like you were born for this kind of fight. We loved like we were out of time, two lost verses in the wrong rhyme.
The lightning danced behind your head, like every word we left unsaid. You whispered, this can't ever stay, but kiss me like you meant to stay. I didn't ask, you didn't lie. We just let the moment reply, and every part of me insists the sky clapped when we kissed.
The sky clapped when we kissed, like it had waited for this twist. All the quiet in our lungs was shattered by electric tongues. Your eyes said what your mouth refused, a truth too heavy, too confused. We wrote our fate in static mist, and the sky clapped when we kissed. Maybe love's not built to last, maybe it's just a lightning flash, but I'd trade 1,000 calm dry days for one more kiss in that thunder haze. I don't need the perfect end, just the echo of where we began. The sky clapped when we kissed, and nothing's louder since than this. No song, no scream, no midnight cry could match the way we touched the sky. Even if you're long gone now, I still hear it somehow. In every storm I still exist, where the sky clapped when we kissed. So when it rains and thunder sighs, I see your face behind the sky. Some loves are written not in bliss, but in the moment. The sky clapped when we kissed. We parked at the edge of the old state line, radio low, your hand in mine, windows down, chasing midnight air, like the world wasn't waiting anywhere.
I swear the sky never looked so wide, 1,000 wishes we forgot to hide. You smiled like you already knew that some nights aren't meant to follow through.
Too many stars, not enough time. We got caught in a moment we'll never find again, in the same way, in the same light. Hearts half ready, but it felt so right. And I swear if I could've slowed that sky, I would've made forever out of July. Too many stars, not enough time, but somehow it still felt fine. You talked about dreams you barely chased, and places you swore you'd never waste.
I told you I was scared to fall,
and you said I don't need forever at all.
We made promises we both forget, but it didn't hurt to pretend a bit. Fireflies like sparks around your hair, and I swear I'd stay right there.
Too many stars, not enough time. We got caught in a moment we'll never find again, in the same way, in the same light. Hearts half ready, but it felt so right.
And I swear if I could've slowed that sky, I would've made forever out of July.
Too many stars, not enough time,
but somehow it still felt fine.
maybe it was the heat, maybe the night, maybe it was us pretending it might
Last longer than a fleeting spark, but even a short flame can light the dark.
And every time the sky gets white, I think of that night, you by my side. Too many stars, not enough time. We got caught in a moment we'll never find again, in the same way, in the same light. Hearts half ready, but it felt so right. And I swear if I could've slowed that sky, I would've made forever out of July. Too many stars, not enough time, but somehow it still felt fine.
So here's to nights we couldn't keep, and memories that never sleep, to the sky that knew our names, even if it never came again.
Too many stars, not enough time, but you'll always be that perfect rhyme.
We never fit in morning light, too loud for calm, too wrong for right. You sneak out past your parents' door, barefoot dreams across my floor. The city dimmed, the noise grew thin, but that's when we let the real begin. Streetlights dancing on your skin, your laugh the loudest kind of sin. We never had the words, just touch, and midnight always gave us just enough. A stolen world, no one to judge, like time stood still just for us.
'Cause midnight was made for us, for every whisper, every rush. No one watching, no one knows where every secret feeling goes. We weren't built for 9 to 5. We came alive when stars arrived. You and me in hush and dust. Yeah, midnight was made for. We talked in lyrics, not in facts, on rooftops with the moon at our backs. You told me things you swore you'd hide, like I was safe on the darker side. We played with silence, slow and deep, like we were scared to fall asleep. I traced your fears with trembling hands in a language no one understands. You were fire in a sleepless town, and I was too far in to drown. They'd never get the way we burn, how only midnight let us learn.
'Cause midnight was made for us, where the broken hearts combust. No questions asked, no reasons why, just two lost kids beneath the sky. We weren't meant for light and rules, we thrived in shadows, soft and cruel. Time stood still between each touch. Yeah, midnight was made for us.
Maybe we were just a phase, fallen stars that lost their place. But I still go where we once stood, where midnight knew us more than good. And if you ever feel alone, look up, I'm still in that tone, the one that glows when streets go quiet, where hearts don't ask to fight it.
'Cause midnight was made for us, for the versions no one trusts, for the messy, wild, unspoken, for the ones already broken. You and I were never clean, but we made beauty in between. No one else, no in between, just that one midnight scene.
Now the world wakes up too soon, and I still chase that silver moon. Though we're gone, though we come, but lost. I still believe midnight was made for us.
You showed up late, the sun halfway down with that smirk that could burn this town. Test a cup in your careless hand. I watched you like I didn't give a damn. But behind these tinted shades were stories I was too scared to say. You joke like nothing ever hurts, while I hid love behind my words. We were standing close but never touched, like heat that never got too much. And you never asked and I never cried. Kept my heart in sunglasses just like that.
I wore my heart in sunglasses behind every glance that passes. You didn't see the way I stared, hoping you'd see something there. Reflections lie, but they protect, a mirrored shield for the side effects. I played it cool, you played it clueless, while I watched you through sunglasses.
You talked about her like I was fine, but my grin was a practice line. We shared the same beach towel and space, but I was light years from your face. I laughed too loud like it was all a joke, even when my voice almost broke. You never noticed how I froze when your hand brushed close to where mine goes.
And when the sun dipped low and soft, I turned away before I got lost. You saw the tin, now what was underneath every beat I tried to keep.
I wore my heart in sunglasses, hiding feelings in sunglasses. No one sees a heart that's bruised when it's hidden in a summer hue. I smiled like I didn't care, while praying you'd still notice me there. You looked right through like I was dust, never knowing what you missed in us.
Maybe I should've said your name, should've cracked beneath the game.
But I was scared you'd turn away, so I stayed cool like kids do in LA.
Now all I have are frames and sand, and words I'll never understand.
I left pieces in that heat where love and silence used to meet.
I wore my heart in sunglasses, fading fast like tinted glasses. You were sunshine I couldn't hold, so I just watched you turn to gold. If you looked a little deep, you might have seen what I couldn't speak. But love was shy and I was reckless, so I buried it in sunglasses.
Now summer's gone and you're long past, but I still wear them just in case you ask. Some things are safer in disguise, like heartbreak behind my eyes. I'll always remember what I missed when I hid my heart in sunglasses. Found a spot by the old fairground where the world felt small and the night stretched out. She kicked off her shoes, climbed the fence, said let's steal a little time we'll never get again. The air smelled like heat and gasoline, and the sky hummed low like a restless dream. I swear I could hear my heart unfold in that space where stories go untold.
She smiled like fireworks, lighting up the dark where nothing works. A burst of color, a fleeting spark, a little too bright for my reckless heart. I didn't have the words, didn't even try, just let her burn across my sky. Yeah, she smiled like fireworks, and I've been chasing that light ever since.
Told me stories with her eyes alone, secrets in the way she leaned the tone. Every laugh was a dare I couldn't win, but I lose 1,000 times again. We talked about nothing, but it meant the most. About runaway nights and the ones we go. She called me trouble, I called her mine. For a borrowed moment, for borrowed time.
She smiled like fireworks, lighting up the dark where nothing works. A burst of color, a fleeting spark, a little too bright for my reckless heart. I didn't have the words, didn't even try, just let her burn across my sky. Yeah, she smiled like fireworks, and I've been chasing that light ever since.
Maybe some people aren't meant to stay. They're meant to be the nights that slip away, but leave a mark so deep, so wild. You'll always be that stupid child who thought you could catch the spark and bottle up a midnight heart.
She smiled like fireworks, lighting up the dark where nothing works. A burst of color, a fleeting spark, a little too bright for my reckless heart. I didn't have the words, didn't even try, just let her burn across my sky. Yeah, she smiled like fireworks, and I've been chasing that light ever since.
Now every time July rolls in and the sky explodes again, I look for her in every flame, but nothing ever feels the same. Cause she smiled like fireworks and no one else quite does. Met where the back roads split, a fading gas station half lit. You tossed me a look like you already knew that summer had a plan for me and you. Ice cream melting down your hand, old songs from a nowhere band. I swear the air was thick with fate and a heat wave we couldn't escape.
It smells like late July, salt in the breeze, fire in the sky. Every glance was a spark, we didn't fight. We burned so easy, we burned so bright. I still taste that midnight drive and the way you said stay alive. Yeah, it smells like late July every time I close my eyes. We made a home in the back of your car, counting satellites, naming stars. You told me about a boy you left behind, and I told you about nights I tried to hide. We kissed like the world was small, like summer would never fall. But even golden hours fade, and some good things slip away.
It smells like late July, salt in the breeze, fire in the sky. Every glance was a spark, we didn't fight. We burned so easy, we burned so bright. I still taste that midnight drive and the way you said stay alive. Yeah, it smells like late July every time I close my eyes. Now the seasons spin and cities grow, and I've learned to leave what I can't hold. But every time the sun hits just that way, I swear I hear you say it's just a night, but it could be more. It's just a kiss, but it opens doors. It smells like late July, salt in the breeze, fire in the sky. Every glance was a spark, we didn't fight. We burned so easy, we burned so bright. I still taste that midnight drive and the way you said stay alive. Yeah, it smells like late July every time I close my eyes. So here's to ghost of endless heat, to tangled hands and reckless beats. I'll chase that scent until I find a piece of you I left behind. Yeah, it smells like late July, and it always, always will. Last night of July, neon flicker glow. We found a spot where no one would go. 2 glass bottles warm in your hand. You said, let's just pretend we'll both understand.
The fairground lights were starting to fade, but we clung to every word we made. I knew it was ending before it began. Still let you write your name on my hand. Goodbye tasted like cola, sweet, sharp, and gone too fast. A fizz on my tongue, a memory that won't last.
We kissed like it was some kind of dare, like summer wouldn't find us there.
Yeah, goodbye tasted like cola,
and I'm still chasing that spark in the glass.
You talked about leaving, I played it cool, pretending I never bent the rules. Told you it was fine, no strings to hold, but my chest got tight in the evening cold. We counted stars while the world fell asleep, made promises too reckless to keep. I let your laugh linger longer than wise, cause it sounded like fireworks in the sky. Goodbye tasted like cola, sweet, sharp, and gone too fast. A fizz on my tongue, a memory that won't last.
We kissed like it was some kind of dare, like summer wouldn't find us there.
Yeah, goodbye tasted like cola,
and I'm still chasing that spark in the glass.
Maybe some nights are built to break, like glass bottles we didn't take,
left on the hood of your old car. 2 ghosts chasing who we are.
I still see your silhouette in the glow, and wish I told you before you go. Goodbye tasted like cola, sweet, sharp, and gone too fast. A fizz on my tongue, a memory that won't last.
We kissed like it was some kind of dare, like summer wouldn't find us there. Yeah, goodbye tasted like
Cola,
and I'm still chasing that spark in the glass.
now every time a bottle pops, a July heat refuses to stop. I taste that night, that sugar sting, and every reckless, stupid thing. Yeah, goodbye tasted like cola, and I drank it down again. We left the party just before it died, sneakers off with nowhere to hide. You said let's find somewhere nobody knows, so we drove till the lights stopped glowing. The air was thick with 1,000 thoughts, but neither of us said a lie. It was all there in the way you sighed, a million unsent texts behind your eyes. The sky was full of us, every star a tiny piece of trust, hanging there like it always knew we were more than we meant to do. No one else in the rearview light, just you and me and that reckless night. Yeah, the sky was full of us, and I swear it still remembers us. You laid a blanket on the hood of your car, told me secrets left emotional scars, like how you're scared of getting old, and how you hate the cold. I told you things I'd never said, about broken nights and words unsaid, somewhere between the laugh and sigh. It felt like flying without asking why. The sky was full of us, every star a tiny piece piece of trust, hanging there like it always knew we were more than we meant to do. No one else in the rearview light, just you and me and that reckless night. Yeah, the sky was full of us, and I swear it still remembers us. Maybe it was just a borrowed time, two hearts reckless, out of line. But the way your hand brushed mine felt like something I'll never find. In another place, another name, the kind of wild you can't reclaim. The sky was full of us, every star a tiny piece of trust, hanging there like it always knew we were more than we meant to do. No one else in the rearview light, just you and me and that reckless night. Yeah, the sky was full of us, and I swear it still remembers us. Now every time the night feels wide, I find you there by my side. Even though we've long since changed, the sky above us stays the same. Yeah, the sky was full of us, and a little part still always does.